In the future, space is the new frontier, and the new frontier needs law. I'm Derek, this is Yesterdaze, and we're going to be talking about Bravestarr.
Bravestarr! Fighting for the rights of all the stars now!
That's it.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
69, dudes!
Well, there's your problem right there, Vern.
Hey, Willie.
Goonies never say die!
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I?
And knowing is half the battle.
Autobots, roll out.
Gordon's alive!
Welcome to Yesterdaze. I am your host, Derek J. Hoover. With me are these two curmudgeons that I've come to love ever so much, Dustin Wyckoff and Jason Tosher. How are you both?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm a curmudgeon?
Actually, no. You're a
Oh,
powder
okay.
keg.
I'm getting a new nickname every episode.
That's good. That tracks.
Dustin Meadowlark Wyckoff.
Night, Bobby Joe, Gip, Fab, Meadowlark, and Curly. Night, Fab, Curly, Geese, Meadowlark, and... Knock it off, fellas. One big good night all is enough. Good night, all. Now to get some sleep for that big game tomorrow with the Scorpions.
Yeah!
Meadowlark.
Yeah.
One of the Globetrotters.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You're Curly.
I'm dumping buckets of confetti on everybody.
One of these days, betting on the Washington Generals is going to pay off. I just know it.
Did they ever use water for real instead of confetti? You have to do it at least once, right?
Yeah. I think it's like they get like the opposite team's coach.
If someone was running at me and he was wearing a Harlem Globetrotter uniform and had a bucket, and he was like, I'm going to throw it, and he's running at me, I would not be scared because I know that it's always confetti.
And then it's live rats.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Was there a time they did anything else besides... Because it's like going the first day of prison. You got to set a tone by beating a guy with a chair half the day.
Right? That or become somebody's bitch.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, they would be smart to at least once do the water thing to keep people guessing.
Fish guts.
Yeah, chum.
Merry Fishmas.
Yeah, nice cold chum.
How you doing there, chum? It's the second episode, gentlemen. How are you?
Well, I'm illuminated now.
Are you part of a luminal order?
We turned the lights on in my living room.
Yeah.
Yes.
We podcast in my living room. People are like, they sound so good, it must be a studio.
No,
it's my living room.
it's just this well-appointed living room. Mm-hmm. Well, do you gentlemen know what we're talking about today?
We said it. Yeah,
Bravestarr.
But are you aware of it? Do you have any knowledge of it? Did you ever watch it?
It was something that I knew it was a thing, and that was about it.
I knew it was a thing.
It was. I was like, it was like Space Cowboys.
Space Cowboys.
Wasn't there another cartoon that was like cowboys wearing like cowboy hats and stuff? Wasn't there?
Riders in the Sky.
Out of the clouds, out of the blue, riders in the sky. Out of the west, coming to you, riders in the sky.
Ranger Day.
To Slim and Woody Paul at the Harmony Ranch, we're inviting you all. Join the roundup today. It's the cowboy way with riders in the sky.
Giddy up.
And gallop away with riders in the sky.
Totally, totally,
Totally, riders in the sky. Come on and ride with riders in the sky.
Okay, that was probably it, right?
That was not it.
That was a video game?
Now it was like three middle-aged men that sang Western songs.
Oh, maybe it's Sunset Riders. That might have been a video
game. Galaxy Rangers, I think, might be.
In 2086, two peaceful aliens journeyed to Earth, seeking our help. In return, they gave us the plans for our first hyperdrive, allowing mankind to open the doors to the stars. We have assembled a team of unique individuals to protect Earth and our allies. Courageous pioneers committed to the highest ideals of justice and dedicated to preserving law and order across the new frontier. These are the adventures of the Galaxy Rangers.
You're talking
Dino
about space.
saucers.
Dino saucers.
Better not be dino
obviously.
saucers.
Are you thinking space and cowboys?
I don't know if it was spacey.
Space Cowboys was a thing. Or something.
Tommy Lee
Space
Jones.
Truckers with Steven Dorff and Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Did
Clint
not do
Eastwood
well.
and Tommy Lee Jones, the Space Cowboys.
And Tom Arnold.
Oh yeah, that one. Tom Arnold.
I've never. I don't remember Bravestarr really.
I recognized it,
Recognize it.
but I had to do some research, and then I watched an episode, and now I have a
we're gonna
better
talk about that
understanding of it. But yeah, I had no clue.
In a distant time and faraway place, the planet of New Texas floats deep in space. Sky of 3 suns, land of precious ore. The Carrion Rush brought outlaws by the score. And one day, a lawman appeared with powers of Hawk, Wolf, Puma, and Bear. Protector of peace, mystic man from afar. Champion of justice, Marshal Bravestarr. Bravestarr.
Eyes of the hawk, ears of the wolf. Bravestarr.
Bravestarr.
Strength of the bear, speed of the puma.
Bravestarr.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to take you guys to church a little bit here.
Thank you.
Hosier.
You're very welcome.
New album. just
Peace be
dropped.
with you.
We saw the
Masterpiece
new
with you.
album at the record store. Did you see it over
Take
there?
off, you Hosier.
Did you see it there on
I did
that
not.
vintage vinyl? We went down, Dustin and I, aka the Powder Keg. We went down to St. Louis the
I'm
other
the
day.
AKA the curmudgeon.
That's Aka the curmudgeon. We went down
AKA
there.
Meadowlark.
Yeah. Meadowlark chum.
My introduction's gonna be so fucking long by the first into the first month.
We're going to finish it up and then tune in next week.
Meadowlark chum. But no, I don't know this property. So any education you can provide, Derek.
Okay.
From memory, though, you have to do it from memory.
Only from memory. You know what? Do you want me to put my notes down? Because
No,
I can
no,
do it.
no, I'm
I
just
can do
kidding.
it.
No.
I can do it. All right. You're no fun. Well, Bravestarr was a Filmation and Mattel Toys collaboration.
Is this part of the Filmation domination?
Good question.
You could call some of the 80s a Filmation domination because they did have some bangers back then.
They did.
It debuted September 14th, 1987, and it ran until February 24th, 1988. It was syndicated, had one season of 65
I was
episodes.
gonna say that's like half a year.
There's reasons why, and we will get into that. This is a classic story of a misstep. I will preface
It
with that.
ended in February of '88.
Started in fall, September 87. Ended in February 24th, 1988.
So at its most,
you had
6 months.
Second grade.
It could be as little as 4 months. And there were 65
just over
episodes?
5 months.
65 episodes?
Yeah. Because it was bought as syndication.
I'll
If
ask you
something's
this.
syndicated, it's usually going to be in the 60s to 70s as far as an episode count for a season.
I don't think that it was really pioneered until the early aughts with Adult Swim, where there would be like 15-minute blocks. But like you look at shows like modern day shows, it might be canceled now, but SpongeBob SquarePants. You tune into a SpongeBob, and you're getting 2 episodes
What's
in a half
his
hour.
name?
SpongeBob SquarePants. Have you not heard of this? It's on Nickelodeon. It ran, I think, literally for 20 years.
He's a sponge.
It still has legs, as does the
It's a
character.
cartoon, but he was
Yeah.
he was drawn to look at as a parallelogram sponge.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That you would use for doing dishes.
And this is a Filmation joint.
The SpongeBob is not.
But
Bravestarr
if you
is.
watch SpongeBob, it's 2 15-minute, 12-minute, 11-minute, whatever episodes. Is that how the 65 episodes are? Are these 65 half-hour episodes?
The majority were designed to be half-hour episodes.
Wow. Man.
You do have some outliers that we'll get into some future episodes as far as like programming.
3-hour-long episodes.
65 3-hour-long James Cameron-esque episodes?
They were epics.
Oh, my God.
You really missed out on your childhood.
I was too busy playing Marble Madness.
Oh, really?
When you're ready for a real challenge, you're ready for Marble Madness. There are deadly steelies, marble munchers, acid pools, digital waves, vacuum cleaners, catapults, pistons, pounding hammers, killer birds, and they're all after you. Do you have what it takes to reach the silly maze where everything's upside down, or the ultimate maze where even the maze moves? Do you have what it takes, or will Marble Madness make you lose your marbles? Marble Madness. And coming soon, Jordan versus Bird, one-on-one for your Nintendo.
You did have impressive Lego sets. You know, come to think of it, you know, like Dustin and I weren't kids together. We were teenagers together. As kids, I don't remember a ton of toys in your room. You had a famously and notoriously, as I've stated, you had like the coolest room.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you.
You did. I was insanely jealous of your room as a kid. It was awesome. And you had like a media area with like all your games, your TV, VCR and all that. But I don't remember like a lot of toys or action figures in your room. You had some Lego sets that you built.
Yeah.
The only action figures I remember you having was around the time we were kind of in junior high. I think we were about junior high. You were starting to get into comics more because books and stuff opened over here. And you buy trading cards.
Books and stuff had been down there for a long time at the Fond du Lac Plaza. And I would get comics and stuff there, but then also I think like right across, like there's an entrance, and once you step in the door, you could go to the right to books and stuff, or you go to the left, and for a little while there, Acme Comics was
That's
there.
right.
It wasn't very long. It was like a year
I remember
or two.
one time we stayed the night, they had like a second shop opened. Did they not?
Yeah, they also had one down by Carl's Bakery in East Peoria,
Yeah.
and then the long time one that's still there by the Lariat Club.
Yeah,
on
well, that
Glen.
one's been there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in the subway at the top of the street before they moved to that one.
Really?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
you're
That
right.
was forever ago.
That was when I first started
your mom
going
took
to
us
Acme.
there.
Hey, your mom. Oh, you mean it? Okay.
I meant it
sorry.
complimentary.
Yes. Yeah, no.
Before that, it was Maury's Caramel Corn and magazine stand, or Loch Ness Comics on Derby Street.
Oh my God, that's a callback. That's a local callback.
Is Maury's still in downtown Pekin?
Yeah, it's changed ownership several times, and I think it is closed.
I think it's something else now, but it's changed hands a couple times. But whoever
it
buys
used to be a
keeps
Pekin
that sign.
institution. They kept the sign.
They keep. I think the sign has moved inside because that sign was iconic.
If you know about Pekin, odds are you know about Maury. It's a local novelty candy store fixture started by Maury Smith 77 years ago in the Pekin Times building.
I love listening to those stories of, you know, when I was little I came in. So that's a feel-good type of, you know, that I'm part of something that is a history of Pekin.
Karen Irons has owned the iconic candy shop since January. And while sweet treats are still a staple at the store, Karen's expanded the brand to now offer coffee, ice cream, and baked goods.
Our theme really has been fall in love with Maury's all over again.
And while the store has seen its fair share of changes, employees say they're still sticking to their roots. Cheryl Frampton is one of the original candy makers trained by Maury himself 20 years ago.
We're still using the same ingredients and things that we did before. We're still using the same chocolate. We're still using the same caramel corn recipe, cheese corn recipe. So I think he would just be glad that the store is still here after all this time.
Maury's legacy is one that Karen says she's proud to be a part of and excited to share with others.
You know, you loved it as a child. Come see what we can offer you as an adult.
Downtown.
Yeah, it was cool.
So whoever ends up buying it, they buy that sign along with it.
But yeah, they
And
used to
whatever
make
they
their
open,
own
that
candy
sign's
and
part of it.
chocolates and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Loch Ness Comics.
I only
damn.
went there once, and it was like 12, 15 years ago. A friend of mine, I think his dad was he had written a book and was having a book signing at Maury's.
Yeah.
And Pekin's downtown it sucks. It's garbage.
It's gotten better.
They've
was
really
bad
neglected
for a
it,
long
and
time.
it's crap down there. Like there's some really cool buildings they could do cool stuff with, and Maury's is in one of those, or was.
well, they're getting ready to tear down the arcade building.
I was
No way.
I was just at the Peoria
Oh,
Riverfront
dude.
Market, and there was a Maury's stand there.
Really?
Which I've literally been going to that market for 15 years. I have never seen a Maury's stand down at the Riverfront Market. So that name in some form and or that candy does live on.
Okay, that's cool.
I didn't know that if that building was still there.
Yeah.
It's still there. It's changed hands. Man, that's sad. They're going to tear down the arcade building. I didn't know that.
It needs too many repairs. They're just going to demo it.
Well,
and,
okay.
make parking probably.
Oh, well, yeah, great.
Or another Dollar General like they did with my old high school.
Yeah,
Paved Paradise.
Our old
right,
high
guys?
school, sir.
Yeah.
They pissed on both of our rugs.
Bravestarr wouldn't do that though.
Bravestarr would not do that.
But I would go down to books and stuff, and then I was very meticulous with my bedroom. I had an upstairs, and it was split into two, and I had one half of it.
Well, for a while you had it all, and then eventually
For a little bit,
moved
yeah.
up there. But the only action figures I really remember you having was you started picking up the Toy Biz Spider-Man figures when the cartoon came out.
I had a few of those.
Had, Carnage. You had
and
you had some Batman the Animated Series.
I
figures.
really liked those.
Those were awesome. Those are still.
I was a big
classics.
Batman animated series fan. I had a lot of those. So.
You had the Man Bat. The Man Bat was
the Man Bat,
very cool.
Yeah,
that was a very cool figure. Right now, Mondo Toys, another independent licensee, is getting ready to make one, and it's gonna be an astronomical amount of money. Mondo Toys is a little too rich for my blood. These are figures that are highly articulated. They're anywhere between 7 to 9 inches tall. Man Bat's going to be bigger than that, and they're usually about $200 to $400 fucking dollars.
Whoa!
No, I'm not doing that.
That's a lot of dimp.
That's a lot of dimp.
It's too rich for my blood.
Very rich. Well, at the time of release of the show, the number one song was La Bamba by Los Lobos.
Yeah, it's a Richie Valens cover from the movie La Bamba.
With Ruth Diamond Phillips, right?
Exactly. Ruth Chris Diamond Phillips.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Delicious chicken.
Ruth's Chris. Apostrophe S's abound.
Starring Louis Guzman as Richie Valens.
Oh, God.
I'd watch that.
You know what? I'd watch that. I'm not going to poo-poo it. I'd watch that.
There's going to be a... we've been talking to our friends south of the border, and there's going to be a spin-off podcast called Goose Glutes. And the Steve Gutenberg Goots Glutes podcast has taken off so much that our friends south of the border have come knocking and said, what could we do?
What could we do?
And I say...
I think I just had Guzman on the mind because you guys were talking about Man Bat, and it just made me think of the Bat Wing, and that made me think of Louis.
From Waiting.
It's a pretty disgusting train of thought there, Dutch.
Yeah, well, welcome to my mind. Welcome to my nightmare.
So now the third one, I call it the Bat Wing. Okay. What you do is you take the excess skin from your nuts, and you take it, and you make it flat like paper. Right? Now, once again, if you take the time to appreciate this, you see that it looks all veiny and alive, like a bat wing, right? They look. They get 3 cakes, all right? Oh, bro, that ain't right, man.
Take a look at the batwing, bitch.
The number one movie at the time was Stakeout. Does anybody remember
Richard Dreyfuss and Emilio Estevez.
And there's a woman.
They're under the bed on the movie cover. They're like under a bed
They're under
looking
the bed.
up.
I think Rosie O'Donnell was...
They made a sequel called Another Stakeout.
Was she in the sequel, or was she in the...
No clue.
God damn it. I know what movie you're talking about.
It's probably a Touchstone Pictures release. It was probably rented by my parents, but yeah, I'm aware of it.
I was thinking of Exile to Eden. No, I wasn't. No, I think
something.
I think there is a lady on the cover with Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah,
and
because they're under her bed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Shelley Duvall. Shelley
Meow.
Long. Shelley Winters.
The Shelleyverse.
The Shelleyverse. It's Spider-Man into the Shelleyverse.
Goose's glutes.
Goose's glutes. Very.
A looser affair than Stephen Gutenberg's podcast.
Fast and loose. What's so 1987? I was 5.
Yeah.
You were a.
I was 3 weeks older than Jason.
Yeah. You guys were both about to be 6.
Yep.
We hadn't met yet. You and I definitely hadn't met yet. My life hadn't changed yet. Susan, that's about the time I met Susan.
Ah, boy, here we go.
She wasn't knocked up with my brother
That's
yet.
your stepmom.
Stepmom.
Former stepmom. Always stepmom? I don't know.
I mean,
how
she's
that
still,
works.
she was married to my dad. She's my dad's widow.
Would you say that she was a positive force in your life for a long time?
She was more a net positive. I can say that now.
That's good.
I'm more of a Nat Funicello.
Are you?
I was at a dance when he caught my eye, standing all alone, looking sad and shy. He began to dance, swaying to and fro, and soon I knew I'd never let him go. Blame it on the bossa nova with his magic spell. Blame it on the bossa nova that he did so well. Oh, it all began with just one little dance, but soon it ended up a big romance. Blame it on the bossa nova, the dance of love.
I'm very proud of you for what you just did. But 1987, this is how Bravestarr came onto my radar. Because my dad had cable. I think it might have been stolen at the time.
What?
Yeah, I think my dad had stolen cable in the 80s.
I feel like stolen cable is the only thing holding together Marquette Heights. It's just a net of loose coaxial cables.
That's now you just
well, no,
share
we lived
your
in
Netflix
East Peoria.
password.
We didn't live in Market Heights yet.
Okay.
So we still lived on Springfield Road. So Bravestarr came onto my radar actually because of a job my mom had. There was a period where my mom was a bartender at a bowling alley, and
they showed Bravestarr?
2 TVs in there. She was a bartender during the day.
Which bowling alley?
I've had a hard time recalling where it was at. I'm pretty certain it was in It might have been Landmark at the time.
Okay.
But she was a bartender up there, and a lot of times I'd have to go with her because she didn't have a sitter.
And you love booze.
And I love booze from day one. But I'd sit there and I'd have my Shirley Temples, and on one of the TV, I think Filmation had a package agreement with WGN because there were a couple Filmation cartoons that I usually saw on WGN.
That's the Chicago network.
Chicago's own WGN.
Yeah.
Channel 9.
You watch your Cubs games, you got your Bozo the Clown.
Yep.
And then, I think that's really all I can remember WGN showing except for like movies on the weekend and
they
stuff.
do like a lot of movies and stuff.
Atlanta Braves.
That's TBS.
That's
TBS.
my friend.
That's TBS.
But I remember watching episodes of Bravestarr when I would be at work with her on Channel 9. When we go back to our apartment behind Green Gables on Meadows, I play Bravestarr with my friend Matt, who lived in an apartment.
You think you would have played Anne of Green Gables? It's right there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's right there in the name, but
it's kind of a missed opportunity for
and then
Money
you
on
do
the table.
Avonlea, the follow up.
Oh yeah, that's
exactly.
great.
Oh, how do, Matthew? Is the afternoon train due soon? She's waiting for you on the platform. She?
My name is Anne Shirley. Anne spelled with me.
It's a girl.
I can see that. Where's the boy?
There weren't any. Just her.
We have absolutely no use for a girl.
You don't want me because I'm not a boy?
She's no good for us.
We might be of some good to her.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Well, the weird thing is we would play Bravestarr, but we would then follow it up with playing Avonlea. I don't know how.
Yeah. Nowadays, kids play Downton Abbey.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you'd follow that up with playing Doctor with him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actual doctor, like I took out his appendix.
Oh yeah, no, there was about. I remember he was very sore and tender, and you like this has got to come out now.
This has got to come out right now.
Sold it on the black market.
Thank God
to
for
buy
my pocket
toys.
knife. Very,
he saved his life.
Very obscure Dr.
I know we're joking
Hibbert
around.
reference.
We're joking around a lot, but you saved
I
that
saved
boy's
his life.
after playing Avonlea.
I saved his life after playing Avonlea. And that's when I became a woman.
Let's go ahead and grade this thing.
Let's go ahead and grade this thing and call it a night.
I might have one more of those in me. That's it, though.
Well, Bravestarr actually got its life or its beginnings from Filmation's Ghostbusters, not the real Ghostbusters.
The monkey one.
The one with the monkey.
That was
Tracy
in the
gorilla.
video I saw. Yes. In
Yes.
The Secret Toy Invasion video.
Secret Toy Invasion with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep.
They came up with a character that Lou Scheimer, the head of Filmation, said, no, I want to use him elsewhere. We're going to build a show around him. And that became the villainous Tex Hex, one of the antagonists of Bravestarr. But it took a couple years before it came to fruition. What led to, granted, they already had a good partnership with him, but what led to this coming about was MOTU. There's your acronym.
Masters of the
Episode 2.
Universe.
It's time for an acronym.
BAFTA.
BAFTA.
NAMBLA.
No.
Oh, that's not an acronym?
No, it's an acronym. It ain't one we're using.
Derek says, I want to tackle all the things that I love on this show, and we will be in a few weeks we'll be talking about NAMBLA.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
They made a lot of cartoons back in the 80s.
They did.
They had that polar bear logo.
Yeah. I don't love everything they stand for, but NAMBLA made a
Fucking
lot.
A if you're not right. Very good, Dustin. Very, very good. No, how it came about.
Big fans of Deke.
Have you been sitting on that all day?
No.
Have you been sitting on Deke all day?
Have you been sitting on Deke all day?
Surprisingly, no.
Surprisingly. How this came about was Motu was starting to wind down. Mattel was looking for something else to produce the next big thing. They approached Lou Scheimer. This was the idea he put on the table. It was basically like a steampunk sci-fi space western. And they started building this show called Bravestarr. Which, what was really cool about it was it did have diversity done well in it. I know the last episode we kind of hinted at diversity being done poorly.
Yeah, I mean your main character is Native American.
Exactly.
In Bravestarr.
In Bravestarr. And
yeah, that's good.
And it wasn't. I never felt that Bravestarr was a stereotype necessarily.
He didn't cry at trash.
He didn't cry at trash. He didn't.
Say
he wasn't
hey,
a
ho.
say hey, ho. Giuseppe. He was none of these things, which are often negative stereotypes.
He wasn't addicted to firewater.
Yeah.
There wasn't a very special episode where he was smoking a peace pipe, though, wasn't there?
There was not.
I'm thinking of something else.
You are thinking of something else. But what's interesting
That was
is
me.
I'm thinking of you getting high.
Thinking of Dustin getting very lifted.
I'm thinking of Dustin using drugs.
Of which he does frequently.
Nah.
Good kind, legal kind.
Yeah, legal.
Kind.
It's
Legal.
legal. Yeah.
Nothing stupid like when I was in my 20s.
Uh-oh. Can we do a show on that?
Nope. Sure can't.
Can this be the de-evolution arc of Derek J. Hoover?
No, I ain't going back.
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
attempt it. I'm gonna attempt it.
I didn't sign up for that ride.
You go right ahead.
I want to bring a bunch of baby laxative over here. Let them go nuts.
We'll have him punching brick walls in no time.
In no time, baby. Hey, you get that Flaming Lips Snoop Dogg
I fucking thought he was Super Mario Brothers.
Mash-
Just like boing, boing, boing. Yeah.
mashup going. I just might.
Let's just go to animal sounds for 600. This is the sound a doggy makes.
I give a pound to my man with my right hand. I roll a blunt with my left hand. Give it to the best man. Testing. 1, 2. Do you hear what I'm talking about? Am I coming through? Come on. Big Snoopy, Sky Sushi. Don't fuck with a ball unless you kicking in the coochie. Like the big homie Moochie. He say sports, Snoop Dogg clothing. Fuck Gucci. I gotta keep it true, see. A lot of niggas talk shit but won't do shit to me. Catch me on the street, or catch me in the club, or catch me on the screen. Catch me if you can, or catch me with 100,000 in my hand. Catch me chilling in the Seaboard sands, or hanging in the hood doing a Seawalk dance. Yeah. Come on. She's a black belt in karate. Well, okay. Now let me break it down for you. Tell you how
What's interesting is this show was not the first time Filmation would attempt to have different representation than standard white guy hero.
Did they make the Mr. T cartoon?
No, that was Ruby Spears.
Oh, okay.
They did do Fat Albert though.
Ruby
Spears.
Isn't that a Michael Cera movie?
Which one?
Ruby Spears.
Oh, I don't know.
Is it?
No,
I don't know.
It's Ruby Sparks.
Ruby Sparks. Yeah.
They're all obscure independent films by him anymore.
Yes. So originally, before He-Man, actually, Filmation
Pre-He
did a show called Black Star. And originally,
that's a funk band.
It does sound like a funk band.
I'm pretty sure
I'm glad
it is.
I'm not the only one who ever thought
Black
that.
Star had a hit from the
Like they would tour with
Bulworth.
Parliament Funkadelic.
Isn't that them?
Isn't it Mos Def and Talib Kweli?
Moon rode high in the crown of the metropolis, shining like who on top of this? People was hustling, arguing and bustling. Gangsters of Gotham, hardcore hustling. I'm wrestling with words and ideas. My edge is prick, Seeking what will transmit, the scribes can apply the transcript. Yo, this ain't no time where the usual is suitable. Tonight alive, let's describe the inscrutable, the indisputable. We New York, the narcotics, draped in metal and fiber optics, where mercenaries is paid to trade hot Stockton.
I think
Like
you're
their
right.
super
I
group?
think that's Black Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And it's also David
that's
Bowie's
awesome.
last album, right?
Yeah.
I thought.
But then it's not Bravestarr.
No, it's not Bravestarr.
No, it's not.
But Black Star originally
Blackstar
was,
is a hip hop supergroup.
well, the cartoon was originally supposed to be the main character. John Blackstar was supposed to be a black character. Those in charge said, well, we don't think people are ready for that. And then his race kind of became ambiguous. Many people thought he was Native American. It was never really answered. However, they kind of hit you right between the eyes with Bravestar in that he is a Native American. His name is John Bravestarr, not John Blackstar. And he fights crime in a future time. That's a different show. He fights crime and is the law on the planet of New Texas.
Oh, Jesus. They all move. We all move to a new planet, and the Texans say, we're taking over.
It is funny to me from the video I watched how, like, we're supposed to be in outer space and in the future, but everything is so, like, Americanized right now. You know what I mean? They didn't, like, take huge swings on, like, calling things interesting. Or like there was, I don't know, just the people dress similar. Like, it very well could have taken place just right now in outer space. It was very bizarre.
Yeah. Well, the conceit of the show and why there is a population on New Texas and what draws so many criminal elements there is a mineral and ore called curium that can 1 pound can power a starship for a year. So it's very sought after. And therein lies the conceit of the show. You have Marshal John Bravestarr trying to keep the peace in a boomtown on New Texas where criminal elements are trying to pillage and plunder. They go up against Stampede, voiced by Alan Oppenheimer, a veteran of voice acting.
If he thought a black character being the lead of his show was too on the nose, calling it Black Star, a Native American trying to protect his land from the encroaching white man and stealing minerals and natural resources, also very on the nose.
Well,
voiced by the guy who made the bomb.
What?
They made the movie about him with the Christopher Nolan.
It's funny you say that. Alan Oppenheimer is related to...
Of course he is.
He didn't make the bomb, but he is related to him.
Dustin said he did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
No?
He's
Man at
involved
Arms.
in this bomb. Bravestarr.
I see what you did there. It is interesting you bring that up because some of the characters on there, the prairie people, which are indigenous people of that planet, you could make the argument that they are indigenous people being taken advantage of for damn near slave labor. But Bravestarr is joined by the cybernetic centaur horseman 3030.
Yeah, how do we get it's named after a coffee shop that recently closed in Peoria, but how do we get a talking horse in the future?
24th century.
I'm just saying.
They
evolved into robot centaur horsemen.
I think we got some
Who have an
cross-pollination going on in New Texas.
awesome boom
Bestiality is legal. Ronald Reagan VII became president and made it legal.
Exactly. Take that at FCC.
Now, was 3030 he could talk? He could speak
talk.
English?
Yeah.
And would John Bravestarr ever get on his back and ride him?
That is one thing that did trouble me about the show. Is he would convert to a horse, and Bravestarr would ride him.
And 3030 is a robot?
He's got cybernetic parts. So, like, his arms and legs are, like, cybernetic, can turn into fists, or he can and turn into a horse.
And both of you find John Bravestarr riding him troubling?
It's strange.
I hadn't
That would
seen
be like
it
if
until
Dustin
yesterday,
could.
so
I don't know.
It didn't keep me up last night, but I did think it was odd that he's just standing up, chilling, and then they're talking, and then it's like,
Let's
hey,
go.
hop on my back, and we'll gallop somewhere.
I mean, you're in the future. Why don't you have like a Land Cruiser or something?
It's
as weird as Turbo Teen.
It is weird because there's a lot of animals that human beings have ridden over the years, but none of them have spoken to us English. And so, like, when you start to converse with a person, it feels very domineering to ride a person that you're. It is odd.
Yeah,
I don't think I like that.
Just a minute ago, you guys were at the cantina together, and now you're riding your friend.
Yeah.
Your friend is serving you.
okay. I want him to. I don't know, man.
That just sounds like a bad
I'm not going to piggyback you around. You know.
But so he's part horse, part robot, but he's an intelligent being that can speak.
Yeah, he's sentient, intelligent.
Why is he called 3030?
I don't know.
Is he a big fan of that ESPN documentary series?
Could be.
3430?
You might be on to something.
Is he 30% horse, 30% robot, and that's it?
Oh, man.
40%
nothing?
Fucking.
Oh, jeez. Jeez, he's a sex machine.
God damn. Okay.
Come feed me an apple.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Carrot or the stick, am I right?
Is that the only character like that in the show, Derek, that is part animal, part robot, and can speak?
Yes.
Is there a robot in this one, too?
There's various robots. There are robots on the. They're called the Carrion Gang. That's Tex
like Dead Meat?
Yeah. That's Tex Hex's kind of cabal of bad guys.
Jason, you a big fan of Tex Hex cooking?
I don't mind it. I know what I'm eating is not like authentic Mexican food. It's just the American spin on it. But I like melted cheese and beans just as much as anyone else.
Yeah.
It is delicious.
Yeah.
Nachos. What are those? Oh, it's a
It's nacho cheese.
Yeah. Last episode we were talking about like Orko and Snarf, these like kind of almost goofy comic relief characters, and there has to be a name. Maybe it is just comic relief, but I feel like there would be a name for those type of characters. Was 3030 that character in this show?
No,
he's kind of a badass.
Yeah, he was badass. He was ready to throw down at a moment's notice. They did have their own Orko, T-Bob, Snarf, and that was Deputy Fuzz. He was one of the prairie people who became a deputy.
Maybe that's part of this show going forward, is like breaking down the archetypes of who fits into what as far as these main characters are concerned.
I don't think that's a bad idea, because there is a formula there.
Oh yeah, there's got to be.
There's got to be.
What's his name? Doctor
Deputy Fuzz.
Fuzz. Yeah.
Always count on a coward like Tex to take off when things get too hot. Now we better find Fuzz. Fuzz, Deputy Fuzz. This is Bravestarr. Do you read me?
So happy to hear your voice. Needs help bad. Me got to find countdown switch.
Turn on your locator. We'll find you.
It's done, Marshal.
That's it. Let's go. We're almost there. Whoa! Watch your step, big fella.
Terrible danger. Look, if switch not turned off, oh, where would people's kingdom blow you? But can't reach switch.
Fuzz.
All right.
And his cousin was one of the bad guys.
Is he a human being?
He was one of the prairie people. They're humanoid.
Okay.
It's almost like if a prairie dog became a human.
Did you ever avoid the humanoid when you were trying to order a pizza, Dutch?
Yeah, we didn't order from Domino's very often. Yeah. I think
avoid the
Wyckoff family was very anti-noid.
Yeah, I agreed.
Yeah.
Just not in my house, together. Chuck said.
It's your call. You can enjoy the fresh baked quality from Domino's Pizza or take your chances with the Noid. You can have pizza made to your order, or you can count on our famous 30-minute delivery, or you can taste the quality from Domino's Pizza. So avoid the Noid. Domino's Pizza delivers. Call now.
I was like, but
Noid in my backyard.
Yeah. We're going to get you your Book It pizza because it's free.
That's right. Personal pan pizza for reading books.
Do they still make personal pan pizzas? Like I've seen, there's like the little Pizza Huts in Target, and they have the small pizzas, but at an actual Pizza Hut, can you get a personal pan pizza?
I'll have the personal pan pizza, please, and I don't have a lot of time for lunch.
New personal pan pizza from your Pizza Hut restaurant. Ready in 5 minutes, or you get one free next time you come in for lunch.
I'd like a personal pan pizza, and I'm in a bit of a hurry.
New personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut, starting at $1.49. And ready in 5 minutes, or your next one's free. We guarantee it.
I don't eat Pizza Hut pizza. I would imagine so,
Yeah,
but who knows?
I hope so.
It always had the crusty cheese edges, which was nice. That's the part I did like about it. I like a good crusty cheese.
I see they did bring back the Bigfoot pizza, though, from what I understand.
Is that enough to make you go there and order it?
Nobody out pizzas the Hut.
Nobody. Craig Robinson.
If you hear otherwise, they're fucking lying.
You know, there's
liar.
one like it's like in Oregon, like maybe Bend, Oregon, or something. It's like the last Blockbuster. You know?
Yeah.
Is there? Do you think there is like an old school Pizza Hut somewhere that like that?
I think there's more than
Dude,
one.
there's
but
still Shakey's out in Anaheim.
Shut up.
I'm sure there's still a dine-in Pizza Hut somewhere.
God,
but like
with the tablecloth and
it would be cool if they kept the old aesthetic, but like kept it up and kept it clean.
There are a couple that have done that. Like they have
They keep
like
it
the
real tight.
chandeliers, you keep it tight.
Yeah,
keep it tight.
The red plastic cups. You know?
Oh, the whole schmear.
Yeah.
There are a couple that have like meticulously.
Not in our area.
Oh God, no.
They have a nice solararium in there,
like Arby's. Now the post office. Welcome to the Arby's solarium.
That'd be great if Arby's made a deal with the federal government to turn all of their institutions into post offices.
Exactly. That would be fantastic.
All the mail sun bleached.
Because that goddamn solarium.
The stamps have dried.
Not a bit of licking will bring them back to life. These aren't sea monkeys, goddammit. They're stamps. They have a shelf life.
They're just stickers now.
Hey, even stickers can dry out. You leave them in that solarium too long.
Yeah. But they're forever. It says forever on them.
Well, false advertising.
Get some scotch tape
sounds
on
like
those.
A cash grab.
Yeah.
Well, now, do either of you were either of you familiar with any of the toys? At the time? Okay. I
don't think so.
We'll get into the toys.
The show lasted 6 months, and there were toys for it.
But that's the only reason the show exists, though.
Yeah.
And this is where it kind of falls apart. So what's interesting about this is Mattel comes to Filmation looking for an idea, trying to hit another home run like He-Man.
Mattel, the toy company.
Mattel, the toy company. In spite of being the very company who kind of invented the direct marketing trifecta of comic book toy cartoon that they did with He-Man, they completely shit the bed on this. So they get very excited about this, and they start really kind of getting high on their own supply in regards to market research.
Okay.
They want the toys to come out ahead of the show. They wanted it ready for the...
Those are going to have to be cool toys.
They wanted them ready for the 1986 Christmas year. Now, they did all sorts of different research, and it did end up bringing about some compromise on both sides. But one of the things they wanted to incorporate, Mattel was real big on the laser light, like photon technology.
Yes.
Oh, I remember laser tag.
Yeah.
And it came out. My friend had that.
Laser tag, the game that moves at the speed of light. From Worlds of Wonder, Stadium not included.
A lot of the laser tag
That first
stuff.
one looked so cool. It was like all black, but had like red stripes on
You
it.
strap it to your chest. You
Hell
got like
yeah.
a big red ball that you just shoot at.
How cool was that?
They were all in on that. Like, and it even showed up in the He-Man line with the laser light Superman.
This was just technology for the action figures and sets to interact with each other.
Exactly. Yeah. So they had their laser tag game. They had injected it or inserted it rather into the Motu line with the laser light He-Man and laser light Skeletor, and they fire at each other.
I didn't have those.
Yeah, that was kind of towards the end of the
I was going
line.
to say, I think I had moved on from Hordak and his
this
group.
was after like Hordak and Princess of Power and Evil Horde and stuff like that. This was kind of around the time the movie was coming out.
Never saw it.
The heads, even to this day.
Even to this day,
Which
I know
one?
Frank Langella is Skeletor and
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren is He-Man's, but
And
I
Courtney
have not
Cox is
seen
in it.
But is Stinkor or better yet, Mothman?
Mothman.
Because
Mothman
if
not in that
Mothman
movie.
is in it,
Mothman
then
not
I
in that
might
movie,
have
baby.
to watch.
You guys talk about the big Mothman.
Talk about the big Mothman. Mothman not in that movie.
That's why I never saw it.
You don't know why Mothman ain't in that movie, baby.
I bet I've seen that movie in its entirety, but it's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Frank Langella looked pretty terrifying.
He was pretty damn good as Skeletor.
I think so. Yeah.
He was pretty damn good. That was a weird movie. Some weird choices.
You know who I would have cast as Skeletor? Robert Loggia.
Robert Loggia.
It's a classic.
They call me Skeletor. S as in shit. Here comes Skeletor. K as in can you believe it?
As in command.
As in command. What Skeletor brings to the table? Command. So they wanted to introduce this laser light shit into more stuff. They brought it into the Bravestarr line. So you could have the characters fire at one another.
This is in the first wave of their...
This is in the first wave of stuff.
They've already said put the...
Is that going to make them expensive, though?
They were a little bit more expensive, and they had premium packaging,
You
too.
got to think about what's on the toy shelves this year. That year.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's flooded with your He-Man and your G.I. Joes.
And you still have people buying
Thundercats and wrestling LJN wrestling
The rubber
figures.
ones, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of stuff to attract attention that you can also see on the television. So, they're wanting to drop these toys, and they're supposed to catch your eye. But, I get having a hook.
Parents spending money on it.
The premium packaging I did see on the video, the Toy Galaxy or Secret Galaxy video, and I don't agree that that's like premium packaging. I don't like that. The packaging I saw
care for it either.
It's like it looks like a shoebox.
Yeah, it was a window box. I think more Barbie.
With the front, it's just a piece of plastic in the front. You can see the thing. Yeah, I like the. What they call it, bubble
blister cards.
Where it's just kind of a
That's
mold
what
of the
most
outside.
of our action figures came in.
And the bottom's got like a little flat part so that when you stand it up, the thing doesn't fall over, and you get a full view of what you're getting. Yeah, and you got some really cool art as the cardboard thing. But I would imagine it's cheaper. And I don't
cheaper.
And I don't think kids are like, I would buy the new Bravestarr toy, but I need some premium packaging.
It's on that
the kids
cheap
don't
ass
care.
blister card. Nobody cared. This is what I mean when I say this is marketing shitting the bed.
Yeah, premium packaging, big thumbs down for me.
Yeah, this was a huge detriment to the line because it did raise the cost of it. The figures did stand a little bit taller than the He-Man figures. You introduced the laser light stuff, and there were additional toys like rifles associated with the show or guns associated with the show.
The guns that they used, they had that element. With
It was
laser light
it was
element.
basically Bravestarr laser tag that you could play with your friends or use with your figures.
Awesome.
Do I get to be the horseman?
Yes, you can be 30-30.
All right, cool.
You have a beautiful mane.
Someone can ride you.
I'm going to ride you. I'm going to ride you, and it's not going to be weird at all.
I'm just a bachelor. I'm looking for a partner, someone who knows how to ride without even falling off. Gotta be compatible. Takes me to my limits. Girl, when I break you off, I promise that you won't wanna get off. You're horny, let's do it. Ride it, my pony, my saddle's waiting, coming, jump on it.
Totally cool. You're fine with it. I'm fine with it.
As long as I get a laser, I'm okay.
Now, what's interesting is this is in the middle of Reagan's second term. You have had a shit ton of parents, activists, getting very pissed off at Saturday morning cartoons, at afternoon cartoons, because they were 30-minute commercials directed at us.
We talked about that a little bit last week, and I don't understand or care about this at all. I let them do it. Who cares?
That's a very interesting point, because it's why are you depending on the government to parent your child?
Yeah,
if you have a problem with your kid watching TV,
have them just turn to TBS.
Turn
then.
TV, yeah,
or not TBS, PBS.
Go to TBS and watch a Braves game.
Go to PBS.
Go to PBS
and watch Sesame Street.
3, 2, 1
or something.
contact.
You didn't
Sesame
have
Street.
the LeVar Burton Reading Rainbow action figure collection?
He came in an ultra premium box, which is just a cement brick.
Yeah. You really had to work to get that figure out.
It is heavy.
But it was worth it. The articulation was amazing. You started having parents' rights or children advocacy groups speaking out a lot more and expressing a lot more concern.
Right.
You started having parents getting more and more kind of pissed off that these were 30-minute commercials being targeted at kids.
It's like TikTok today.
Yeah, with your TikToks and your book face.
That's right. People getting upset about
Dan
kids being on TikTok. Guess what?
Blue jeans.
You're paying the bills on the phones. So just shut their phones off.
Shut it off.
Set limits. Whatever that looks like. It is up to the parents to do this.
Yeah.
It's a free market economy. Let them make 30-minute commercials. And guess what? If kids like it, that'll just dictate, the economy.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. So it's interesting because going into the 90s in the Bush administration, they cracked down more on that. And we probably saw it. This is like when we kind of stopped watching cartoons some. We were growing up. We were watching less of this. So we're more interested in girls. But you started having dedicated blocks of time in the afternoon, in the morning, on weekends for specifically educational programs. That hadn't happened yet, but the parents were getting pissed off. A lot of them started thinking, "No, you're making a cartoon about a toy, not the other way around." Because in the case of like Masters of the Universe, you had the cartoon come out, you had pack-in comic books with the toy. The kids were getting invested in this stuff before the toys came out, and then they wanted to buy a piece of the mythology.
Either way, it doesn't matter to me. It's whether the cartoon came out first or the toys came out first. It is only ever there to sell the toys.
Exactly.
Whatever comes out first, it doesn't matter. It's only there for the kids to go pull on their mom's kerchief and say,
"I want."
Yeah.
So what ended up causing a detriment to the line is all of their market research showed this is a great toy. This is fun to play with. They wanted to release it for the 86 Christmas season. That show wasn't coming out for
Fall
almost
of 87.
another year.
Yeah.
So it comes out. It's on the shelves. It looks great. The kids have no idea what the hell it is.
Yeah.
They haven't connected with anything. They're not coming home.
Well, were there at least commercials about the product?
I mean, they had commercials for them, of course, but there was no
animation.
There was no
in the
animation.
commercials.
Yeah, it was just the toys.
Okay, well, I feel like in the past 15 years or so, definitely with the advent of a few successful movies, Legos, there was no cartoon for Legos, and Legos have been around since the 60s.
Yeah.
There's never any cartoons. There's like, in the past 15, 20 years, there's been Ninjago, the actual Lego movie, Batman Lego.
Yeah.
But like, there's a long time where Legos were sold very well, and there was no cartoon or anything backing them up. It was just commercials like, hey, check out these new Legos. Isn't that cool?
Well, yeah, and you think about it, there are certain types of toys that are just evergreen, that a parent's going to buy because they had it and their dad or mom had it, especially the older the toy. Legos are pretty old.
Lego is here. Hey, kids, look. A whole new world to build. 'Cause Lego is here.
This young boy had such fun. He used Lego one by one. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, built himself a plane. This young boy glad Lego came.
Lego, a whole new world to build.
Tinker Toys, especially building toys like that.
Lincoln Logs.
You see that Red Bull under my TV?
Yeah.
That's Lego. That's old because Lego made stuff like that before they made their building
No
blocks.
way.
Yeah.
I've always wondered where that came from.
That is Lego. That's a Lego thing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Lego Bowl.
Awesome. Lego Bowl.
Thank you.
So you have this toy line come out. It doesn't exactly fly off the shelf.
Yeah. Shocker.
The cartoon, I mean, it's still been bought. It's been produced. It's going to be released. And yeah, they had some toy sales, but not enough to get you to a second season. Not enough to get you a second wave. So the holiday season comes and goes. They were certain this was going to be the next big thing. This was going to be like parents rushing out to buy Cabbage Patch Dolls, G.I. Joe.
And then when it doesn't sell by summer, they're already on the markdown shelf.
Yeah, they're already marked down.
And they're gone before the cartoon is even out.
That's a bingo.
And they were so excited about this line that they maybe didn't make it, but they were starting to plan already. They had planned out a second wave.
There were
of
plans
toys,
and
right?
some prototypes for Wave 2, and just nope, they noped out. So
you never had any of these, Dustin?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't remember these.
I did not have Handlebar Mustache Barkeep.
It was called Handlebar.
Yeah.
Because this was kind of a flop, though. I always that's what I always say about Nintendo. Nintendo comes out with crazy stuff, and like if you buy an Xbox or a PlayStation, they have some interesting accessories. It's mainly a controller and the games, and that's it. Yeah. Nintendo comes out with a lot of weird ancillary material that I always say buy it. buy it and throw it in your closet, because this weird crap people don't really buy, and people love Nintendo when it's worth a lot more later, mainly because they didn't make a ton of it.
Yeah.
Could that be said about something like Bravestarr? If you went out there and you're looking for Bravestarr action figures and they're in mint condition, is that worth a lot?
It's not cheap. It gets a little spendy. I mean, the nice thing is it, since it got kind of the rug pulled out from underneath of it, there's not a whole lot to collect. It's a small assortment, so you can manage to collect it pretty quick. But
yeah, just find some guy on eBay who's hard up for cash, and he's like, I gotta sell my Bravestarr action figure lot.
They're out there.
I bet they are.
Priced
out
to
there.
move.
Priced to
move. It can get spendy, especially for like mint in box, and the box is in good shape. It can get pretty expensive for some of them.
Now, last week you said that you were interested in the future here, after kind of working on your house, to maybe picking up some Mask toy line stuff. Is Bravestarr on your hit list?
The old figures, no. But
oh boy.
Once again, we also talked about this company on the last episode too. Ramen Toys is once again kind of doing something just outside of licensing, and actually it went live today, and I'm really debating on ordering it. It's like $70, but
don't do it. I can help with the debate if you want.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's the pre-orders are up. It comes with a lot of really great pack-ins. It's just called the Marshall, and it is a very well done homage to Bravestarr. It looks phenomenal. It was really a lot of great work put into it. So it's I'm really.
But it does. But they can't put Bravestarr on.
They can't actually say Bravestarr. A lot of the iconography. Ace over at Ramen Toys and his team has done this for a few things. Like they have quote unquote not Centurion figures, but it's the Centurions. They did not a Quicksilver from Silverhawks.
Well, you'd go to like Dollar General and they'd have those knockoff toys. It's like him guy and
Transmorphers,
spider
action
thing.
team,
arachnid boy, So, yeah.
So
but those usually looked crappy.
And what's those were horrible. These are.
Can you imagine a collection of only Dollar General? Like someone's
There's some people who collect that shit, like bootleg toys, and like they love it. Well, remember. Well, how often did you read?
Super
kitschy. You collected Wizard and Toy Fair fairly regularly. They'd always have the bootleg of the month.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, down in like the corner or something.
In the Wizard magazines?
It started in Wizard and then migrated over
bootleg
to Toy
of the
Fair.
Month. That's funny.
And I mean, some of the bootlegs that you'd come across were just ridiculous.
Well, I don't know if you plan on having guests on the show, but we met a guy a little over a year ago at Ernest Day who makes his own action figures.
Oh, yeah.
And he would be a good person, I think, would talk to you about bootlegs and just the state of the industry right now, because I bet he's very knowledgeable on it.
Yeah, we talked to Andrew quite a bit about that.
Andrew's pretty good at making custom toys.
Yeah.
But, that is something that is out there right now, or it's at least up for pre-order, and it looks great. But I do think there's more you could do with that. I think how you reboot it or modernize it or do something with the license is right now you have the Mattel's Masters of the Universe Origins figures. It's a retro line. You both know I collected. That's what my attorney is.
I know I send you pictures from my brother's shop when I go down there.
Yeah, I do want to see a shop. He does have a couple pieces I want.
He does have what I would consider premium packaging versions of those, where it is kind of the full packaging and not the what do you call it again? The other kind of it's just like the
blister
mold.
card.
Blister card. Yeah.
So
does he have him in like it's the blister card, but then it has like the protective case over it?
No. I think it's like it looks like the Marvel Legends and stuff. How it's it's kind of a nice.
It's like a clamshell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If they're clamshelled, I think he might have taken the time to actually clamshell them, or whoever sold them to him.
I don't know.
May have done that, but either way, no, he's got a great set. I want to see his store just to see his store, but he's got some stuff I want. Recently, when they rebooted and did the retro line, they folded in a toy line from back in the day called Sunman. It was done by Olmec Toys. It's a very interesting story how that came about. But I think what you do, if you wanted to revitalize Bravestarr and just have it do something with the license, have product on the shelves, and there is a fan base for it, because I'm not the only one who has said this in like message boards and stuff. There is a Motu character called Rio Blast. He is a Western themed character.
Oh, I thought it was Duran Duran themed.
No. Juice is like wine, though.
It sounds like a Taco Bell flavor in their soda machine.
Yeah.
It is actuly an homage to
Mountain Dew Rio Blast.
Hot sauce dew.
Hot sauce dew. I think what you do is you fold Bravestarr, because they're both Mattel. You fold it into the Origins line. And you almost have it like as a subline based around the Rio Blast character. It would be very easy to do. They did it with the Sunman figures. And that led to them even producing some Sunman figures that originally were not produced before the line died. You use that kind of buck, that action figure buck that the Motu line has, and I think you could slide that in seamlessly and kind of preserve that line and have it out there for kids to collect now, and kidults, as it were. I think that would be a very easy way to do it. Fold it into the Masters of the Universe Origins. I don't know why they don't, but who knows, they might.
My guess is that it was only on TV for 5 months.
That could be part of it.
That's my guess.
Well, what's crazy about it, too, there was a Bravestarr movie, but it didn't come out till, I think it was 89.
Oh, really? Maybe I missed that part of the video.
Who was in it? Kurt Russell?
No. It was an animated movie.
Oh.
God, I want to say it came out well after the show.
So it was just more episodes cobbled together.
No, it was an original movie.
Okay.
It wasn't episodes cobbled together.
Bravestarr?
Yeah, it was Bravestarr.
Who's asking for that? Why was that made?
I don't know.
Their mom.
Their mom?
My mom thinks Bravestarr's cool. Well, the show ended in February of '88, but the movie came out in March of '88.
Oh, so it was already well in production.
Probably well in production, and
well, we can't stop now.
May as well just throw it out there.
I mean, it didn't lose money. It just didn't perform the way they expected it to. So one and done as far as seasons, one and done as far as waves. And that was that. The only thing being done with it is a unlicensed homage figure that costs about $70-$80.
And the porn parody.
Don't
do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. So one of my favorite episodes, and I know this is one that Dustin watched. Did you watch any of it, or did you just watch a history of it? That's fine. Dustin, you want to tell us what episode you watched to prepare for this?
It's called The Price, I believe. It's basically a very special episode of Bravestarr, where the kids are getting hooked on this new drug called Spin.
I'm glad it wasn't someone touching that horse.
But apparently this drug is sold by dingoes.
Yes,
like actual dingo.
Yeah, he's
man.
looking like that fox in Pinocchio. It's very Pinocchio-esque.
But they speak English,
exactly.
though.
Yeah,
they talk.
Yeah, this guy comes up. They're playing,
but no cybernetic parts.
Yeah, they're playing in their clubhouse, and he's like, "Hey, you want to try some drugs? I'll give it to you for free."
Do they call it drugs, or does he call it? You see, it's called Spin.
Spin.
Hell yeah.
And it's like
awesome.
A liquid that like they drop it onto your palm and it just absorbs into your pores and
euphoric.
What happens when people are using their eyes like cash out or what?
Well, after you've had too much of it, you end up in a holding cell and losing your goddamn mind, screaming nonsense,
freaking out.
You've seen this one, Derek?
Oh yeah.
So there's 65 episodes. Have you seen them all?
I have not seen all of them. I remember the Price episode from when I was a kid.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I don't.
And then I revisited it, just like I watched Bravestarr the movie in like getting ready for all this, and watched a couple of other episodes. But I specifically looked up The Price because it is fucked up. So I mean, a lot of episodes or a lot of cartoons had drug, like He-Man had a drug episode.
Also, these kids look like they're in their 40s, but they sound like they're kids.
Yeah.
Like, they're not drawn very well. He kind of already looks haggard. And
did John Bravestarr put the dingoes in jail?
Eventually.
Good.
He got his man.
What was the He-Man drug of choice?
I can't remember what the drug of choice, but nobody died in that episode. The kid dies and ODs in this episode.
Yeah,
Bravestarr,
they kill the kid.
Dies.
Was it a kid? It was.
There's
just
like
a
a
kid.
big. There's a big
He was like
reveal
12.
where like
His buddy.
he climbs up the ladder of the clubhouse and it's just a shot of his face. He's like,
The face.
and then there's like a foot or something.
No, it's his hand. You just see his hand like this, and the kid's like,
Yeah, and then he falls
out 30-30,
Yeah,
catches
they
him
kill
or
the
some
ki-
shit.
They kill the kid.
The mom starts freaking out.
I felt like in the 80s and 90s, when you're talking to kids about drugs, there's always a guy like climbing up on something, like jumping into an empty pool or something.
Yeah.
The kid died just straight from using the drugs, or he fell off of a
no,
building.
he didn't think
was
he
up in
could
his
fly
clubhouse
or
and
anything
died.
like that. He just OD'd.
Passed out and OD'd.
was-
Accidental overdose.
This-
There's probably fentanyl in that spin.
This is a character that was only introduced in that episode, though?
Yeah.
As far as I
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, remember my old friend Jimmy? We're gonna kill him now.
Kill him.
Well, that wasn't John Bravestar's son or something. Yeah, that'd be messed up.
But yeah,
He'd go on a dingo killing.
that was the episode I watched.
The dingo killed my baby.
It was more entertaining than Mask.
Maybe the dingo overdosed your baby.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. There's like a whole pack of them, and they're all like
Peddling drugs.
Yeah.
Trying to still carry him.
Does John Bravestarr, does he have a 6-shooter? Does it shoot lasers or something?
He has like a laser gun.
Okay, so there's no
But a lot
bullets.
of but he actually tends to depend on his wit and his prowess,
his wit and wisdom.
But by way of his mentor,
oh,
the
strength
shaman,
of bear.
he calls upon strength.
Sword of omens give me sight beyond sight.
Yes. Well, he had the eyes of the hawk that gave him sight beyond sight.
Oh yeah, we should talk about. I remember that from the video too. John Bravestarr could summon
strength
towers
of the bear,
of animals,
ears of the wolf,
animals that we know
speed of the puma
from planet Earth and not
Yes.
from outer space.
Exactly.
Well,
I
they
think
were
the
in New
idea
Texas.
is
They brought
eventually
them with.
mankind all advances,
2 by
including
2,
Native
man.
Americans, and they all take to the stars and they take their traditions.
You think there was a space
with
arc
them.
that we?
Yeah,
took?
there's a space arc. That was
It's
in
an offshoot of
the
Battlestar
prequel.
Galactica. They're one of the 12 tribes.
I've seen it.
So that's
Bravestarr.
Bravestarr in a nutshell. A kid died.
The shaman character whose name was Shaman.
He was Shaman, who was indeed a shaman.
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 Shamon the shaman.
All right. What's next, Derek? What else? You
Well,
got
I say we kind of
Bravestarr?
grade it. We've talked about like how you could bring it into the modern era and what's going on with the not going on with the license right now by way of ramen toys. Outside of that, there's no branding. There's nothing being licensed outside.
Let's
of
go
that.
branding. Am I right?
Let's go a Brandon, starring Lee Marvin and Clint Eastwood.
That's what I say.
Well,
Let's
grab
go
a brand.
Let's go branding.
Let's go a branding. I would say we rate it.
Now Jason's
Scale
radicalized.
eighth. The scale is.
I have a lot of hate in me.
You have a lot of hate. It's a grading scale. It's A through F. I turn to Dustin
Yeah.
because he's to my right. How would you grade this?
Like I said, I enjoyed it more than I did Mask. Again, it's the same sample size, one episode. I didn't own any of the toys. Based on what I saw, I'm okay with that. I would say a B.
Going with a B.
I'll go with a B. Minus.
Jason.
I definitely didn't watch any of the show. I don't remember it.
So you have no frame of reference.
Well, I'm sure that
You're like school on Sunday. No class.
that's Harry Carey doing an impression of Fat Albert. Is that what that is?
That's Tracy Morgan doing Fat Albert on VH1 Behind the Music, Fat Albert.
And that was on 30 Rock, right? Or is it
It's on
SNL?
SNL.
Okay.
The first heart attack was bad, but the 7 and 8 were wake-up calls.
I kind of like the premise of the show because there's an opportunity for all sorts of crazy and kooky characters.
Right.
Yeah.
Tex-Mex.
Where Mask was just like, I feel like
Tex-Mex.
it was just it's a merging of Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Sure.
And G.I. Joe is just dudes. It's just guys in the military with guns.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of dudes that look the same. Where, you got a horse that you can ride. And it's like
And he's also your
he's
friend.
also kind of a man or something.
Man horse.
How's he hold that beer with a hoof? That's what I want.
It turns into a hand.
He said it could turn into a fist sometimes to fight, right?
Yeah, and
I don't-
he'll
But it seems like there'd be a lot of fun opportunities with this toy line. Rarely do those things come to fruition, though. Like, have you ever gotten a new Masters of the Universe toy and you're very excited about, like, this is shit?
No.
Okay.
No.
But I feel like a lot of the action
I take that
figures
back. The
are-
only one that I was like, nah, was Orko. They had the rip cord and he just spun around.
That's what he does, though, right?
I guess.
The cartoon, I would imagine, is bad. It only was around for 5 months. I think it got some replay later, right, on other channels.
It did. It did find some kind of a second life in rerun. Like it was on Cubo in a programming block. It managed to
Was
find
that like Quibi?
I don't
Quick
know.
Bites?
Cubo, I know, was like a cable station because I know I've watched it up in Chicago when we've stayed at Shauna's parents' house, but I don't know that we have it down here. And I know it was on Retro TV, the digital air broadcast. It was part of like a programming block for a couple years. Now you can find the whole series on DVD. Right,
or YouTube.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's not on any streaming service, but you can watch. There is a Bravestarr channel on YouTube where you can watch every episode, and you can even watch the movie on there too.
Yeah, I don't know.
For free.
I'm sure that
I don't see Jason doing that.
No.
But it's available.
No.
I'm sure the show's not good, but you got to give them thumbs up and a little credit for trying to be inclusive of and doing things that they weren't doing in the late 80s.
Yeah, horse people were severely overlooked.
The Native American guy, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I give it a B.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of cool opportunities in that line rather than one prototype just colored different over and over again. You have interesting toy opportunities.
Yeah.
But no need to revive it whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no need to revisit this. There's no real nostalgia. There's a sliver of people that are interested, but I think largely
it is more niche.
Just leave.
You'll
this
see
be.
like one guy at Comic-Con dressed up
as a man horse,
and half the people will be like, I don't know what
nothing.
that is.
It's clicks and whistles.
It's like the costume where like you got the fake legs hanging on the side, but and the horse's legs are yours. They should do that with Bravestarr. Yeah. Anyway, it could be a fun toy line and a goofy show.
If it wasn't for the marketing of it, I would probably give it an A. I loved this show when I was a kid. I loved the animation. I do think the animation was pretty good compared to a lot of by the standard at the time. And I do feel like Filmation really did a decent job at animation, at backgrounds.
But this was their last thing that they did, right?
I think this was their last collaboration with Mattel.
But Filmation closed after this, right?
No.
Pretty quickly, didn't it?
It was the closure wasn't far behind, but I don't think it was immediately.
I think this was like towards the end of the road for these
It
guys.
was.
From what I
It
saw.
was towards the end of the road for them, but it wasn't like Bravestarr blew it.
All right,
we're done. But I think they did manage to put a couple more things out, and then Lou Scheimer had to close up shop. It did leave a very sour taste in his mouth because he had a lot of faith in the show. But he kind of feels like, and he's justifiably so, Mattel kind of screwed it up because they were so certain of their marketing. But ultimately, I'd give it a B+, just because the marketing really screwed the pooch on it. I would give it a B because I wasn't crazy about the toys. I loved the show. I really did love the show.
Did you have some of the toys?
No. Unfortunately, my mom was broke and my dad didn't think to buy me.
So your grading of the toys is basically.
I'm grading like the sum of all parts.
Kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
But like, is this just like, how do you know about the toys? You just remember seeing them back
I remember
then,
seeing them. I wanted a Bravestarr because at the time I wanted it because I liked Bravestarr. Now you had mentioned, would you go back and collect it? No, it scale wise doesn't fit in with my stuff.
You just said there was a $70 thing you're contemplating.
That one, yeah, that's more standalone. But as far as the vintage stuff, no, not really looking. Unless I fell into the right deal and they were in good.
You're
shape.
not reading Bravestarr fan fiction.
No.
Are you writing Bravestarr fan
I
fiction?
can neither confirm nor deny.
That's okay. That's fair.
Mr.
Respect that.
Wisteria is actually set in the Bravestarr.
Johnny, why are you
galaxy.
ruining it? I trusted you with that plot point. I trusted you.
Buy it on Amazon.
Rat bastard. But no, I would give it a solid B. Mostly because of the
I'd give it a
animation.
solid BM.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. That does conclude our discussion about Bravestarr. However, next week we will be talking about one that's a little more mainstream and for the ladies, but also the boys. Gem and the Holograms. Either of you remember?
Yep.
Show?
I do remember that one. Yeah.
Do you remember that one? That has a pretty storied production to it, and a lot of very talented people came out of that. So in the meantime, you can find us on Twitter at Yesterdaze Pod. Please give us a follow. Where can we find you, gentlemen?
You can find me at Dutch Stick 11.
Yeah, you can.
Same for me.
Sure. Anything you guys want to promote?
No.
No? Don't want to talk about Radio Rewind? Come on.
We should, listen to that show.
Listen to that show. It's a lot of fun.
It's on the Drunken Lullabies feed.
Yes.
I've had people say, I can't find it. I put it in Radio Rewind. I said, go to Drunken Lullabies. It's on there.
Yeah, right at the top.
Mm-hmm. Right at the tippy top. Comes out every Friday, right?
Every Friday.
And you guys are currently in the threes, 83, 93, 2003, 2013?
That's correct.
We talk about top 10 hits, music-wise, in the week that we're currently in as of release date from those years.
And we put them in fantasy showdowns.
It's like a fantasy face-off. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What I like the most, I got a pro-con with your show. It's a lot of funny. It's a lot of fun, very funny, a lot of great music, but it fucks with my ADD. Because you guys will start talking about a song, like what you're listening to, and then I'm like, fuck, I gotta find it, and I go and play it. And
that's why I tried cutting it in.
We're not going to.
Well, then I hear it, and it's like it's an earworm, and it's like I gotta go check this out.
Yeah, it sounds like you have pros and pros about the show.
You know what? You know what?
We're introducing.
That's a good way to look at. I'm going to stop looking at this as a challenge or a net negative.
Oh, challenge!
As an opportunity.
That's the podcast that our friends Tim.
That's
and
we're not
do.
plugging that.
Yeah.
No. We just know people who do that.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, please consider becoming a patron. It helps us grow. You can find us at Yesterday's Podcasts on Patreon, and we will see you next week.